You just said resources. What resources are available to families?
There's depends on where you live, depends on kind of the situation or the things that you need. But there are a lot of parent websites, and there are a lot of good pieces of information. I love, there's something called Attitude Magazine that for ADHD and things like that. They have a Facebook page, they have a website. They put up great articles. I have learned so much as a parent of kids with ADHD from kind of looking at how do you manage day-to-day stuff? How do you get your kid to remember to brush their teeth?
Sure.
And that answer is different for every kid, so I don't have the secret, so don't ask. But it's, things like, oh, that's why they do, looking at kind of the executive function piece of it. And that when I first was getting trained as an NP, we really didn't talk about the executive function piece of it. We talked about, do they meet 6 of these 9 criteria, and does it happen both at home and at school? Then it's ADHD, and here's the medicine, but you tell them to go look for behavioral things. And you're like, so what behavioral things am I telling them to go look for? So over time, I've accumulated more resources like that. There's several different organizations. CHAD is one of them. It's, I'm gonna forget what the CH is, and then attention deficit disorder, but chad.org, it's 2 Ds, has a lot of good information on there. On the autism side, what used to be Southeast Association of Autism Society of Southeast Wisconsin, that's what it was, ASSEW, is now Autism United, because people like me fumbled their name.
Gotcha.
But that one is a huge resource to parents, because it's got like a parent's guide, and it's got a list of, here's a list of dentists that handle kids with autism well.
Oh, that's
Here's
beautiful.
a list of, behavioral therapists if you need this. Here's a list of psychologists if you need to go get a psych eval for Social Security stuff. Here's a list. And so there's good resources out there, and there are parent groups and things like that. And I laugh because I've even found out about stuff from folks that work in our office whose kids have special needs. And they're like, do you know about this? I'm like, no, write it down. It's going on my list for parents.
Sure, yeah.
And things. There's a really cool gym up in Racine called We Rock the Spectrum.
Yeah.
And they do parent nights and things like that, and they do education, and it's phenomenal. So there's a lot of good resources out there, but the thing is, it's hard to, you got to know where to find them.
Yeah.
So the more we do the word of mouth, and the more I give parents a 2-page list and go, this isn't everything. Start here, ask questions.
Yeah.
Because it's hard when you have a kid who struggles in things and needs extra resources, and you need to think creatively about how do I help them, because the typical solutions don't work. You as the parent end up to be their advocate. You have to be the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. You have to be the one that kind of makes a fuss, because if you don't, then they're gonna be like, oh, they must be fine, then they're not squeaking anymore.